Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Bemvinda Sermo, and I'm a representative of the City of Windhoek Junior Council. Today we're here to Today we're here to promote the My Rights My Superpowers Children's Right campaign and unveil the Children's Advocate logo. As most of you know, 28 September is the Day of the Namibian Child. And this is the official commemoration of the Day of the Namibian Child. Thank you. I would like to ask all of us to rise for the national and AU anthem. Thank you so much.
Let us all unite and celebrate together the victories won for our liberation. Let us dedicate ourselves to rise together to defend our liberty and unity. O sons and daughters of Africa, flesh of the sun and flesh of the sky, let us make Africa the tree of life.
Thank you. May we all sit. Up next, I'd like to call upon Councillor Basil Otsup, who will be your Masters of Ceremony along with me today. Thank you.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Basil Otsup from Amazing Kids Private School and Academy, and I will be your Director of Ceremonies as long as with Councillor Bemvinda. Ladies and gentlemen, before we begin, I would like to acknowledge the presence of Advocate Basilius Dewakua, the Ombudsman, Ms. Gladys Pickering, the Executive Director, Ministry of Justice, Ms. Natalie Rasman, Resident Representative of Conrad Adenauer Stiftang, also known as CAS, Her Worship, the Junior Mayor of Windhoek and Junior Council members of Windhoek, members of media, ladies and gentlemen. Before we begin, I would just like to say a few jokes. The people sitting on this side, are you guys all right? No, you guys are all left because you're sitting on the left side. Ha ha ha. Ha 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 ha. The next one is, what did the left eye say to the right eye? Between you and me, something smell. Something smells. Okay. Now I would like to welcome the representative of CAS, Natalie Rossman, for the opening remarks.
Basilius Chakua, Children's Advocate Heather Harker, Chief at the Office of the Ombudsman Namibia Ingrid Hasselman, all representative of the Namibian National Association of the Deaf in Namibia, the Windhoek Junior Mayor Sylvia Shapumba, Wilhelmina Gozes, and representative of the Namibian Association of the Children with Disabilities, member of Real DC, I think they will give us a performance later on, as well as members of the media present here today, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, dear learners, all protocol observed. Ladies and gentlemen, CAS is really proud and honored to witness today's crucial initiative called Children's Right Campaign and Unveiling of the Children's Advocate logo. Maybe I speak a bit slower to make it possible that our sign language interpreter also would like to greet today will manage the translation. And I would like to express my gratitude to the Office of the Ombudsman of Namibia for coming up with this great initiative, competition, and awareness campaign. Ladies and gentlemen, today we gather here to promote children's rights. While talking about human rights, we tend to focus mainly at women or marginalized groups. But what about our children? I feel that we often do not do justice when we talk about GBV, poverty, lack of education, all other social illnesses. We just merely look at the impact on the youth and the elder generation. Where can we hear the children's voice? Though they are the most effective and most vulnerable, and too often it happens within their own families. Children at young age do not have the resources or means, the ability, the confidence, and the independence to address and to report their issues. Being a minor, their parents or school teachers speaks on their behalf. Ladies and gentlemen, therefore it is important to raise awareness about children's rights among themselves, parents, community, and to address these objectives in a child-friendly manner. Ladies and gentlemen, children's rights are fundamental rights, nothing less, and it's ensured by Article 8, 20, 95 in the Namibian Constitution. And let us look closer. What are the key children's rights? Well, children's rights includes the right to health, to education, to family life, to play and recreation, to an adequate standard of living, to be protected from abuse and harm, the right to non-discrimination, the right to be protected from economic exploitation, the right to avoid pain, fear, and stress, also the right to have their parents with them, right to privacy, right to inform, and I think we can even prolong the list. Let us dive to the ground or do a reality check and comment on each right mentioned. For instance, health. Let us ask ourselves, Do we have enough facilities, especially in the rural areas, for children? Are they child-friendly? Let's look at education. We still know the situation about the school dropout. Let's include also our hostels. I've learned being in Namibia now for 3 years almost, that a lot of the learners spend the second part of the day in hostels and probably the most time of their life or their childhood. What are the conditions there? How does the facility looks like? And what about also the education happening there? Let's look at family life, the right to play and the right to recreation. What about children's working? How many of them have to work after school in the field? Also look at the issue of single mothers. Abuse and harm. I think we can read every day in incidents happening in our newspapers or reported on TV. GBV, child rape, happens almost every day. And these are only the reported cases and incidents. What about the silent mental abuse without physical, visible scars that are visible? What about discrimination? Let's look closer at children with disability. Are we really inclusive? What about the public facilities there? In the village areas, a lot of them are somehow taken aside. They have to hide. What about their mobility? And what about the facilities to school them? Pain, fear, and stress. We just have to look about the problems of alcohol and drug abuse, social behavior in communities and in families. That affects our children. The right of privacy. Well, when I look at this topic, it came to my mind. Very often we see in the newspaper cases of, for instance, abuse or rape, GBV, where children are victimized. How the media is reporting it. Often they show pictures on media or on the newspaper, or also by giving more details, their names. It doesn't happen in a very ethical way by showing pictures and sharing victims' names. This is also something that touches the right of privacy and the right to be informed. How does the communications with children happens in their families or in the communities? Are they informed? Do they inform each other? Do they inform their children? Is there a communication going on in the families? And also about our TV and radio programs. Are we thinking about children or just about the adults being informed? I think there's a lot of topics, problems, issues that we connect to all these rights. Ladies and gentlemen, as a German political foundation, our office mandate is to enhance democracy, to promote inclusivity for all by assisting our partners to reach these objectives. We're here today to remind us that our Constitution plays a critical role in upholding human rights in our country, which is essential to making sure that everyone's interests and needs are addressed equally and inclusively. The Constitution as the supreme law of the country and the supreme law of our society promotes an inclusive society underlined by equal participation for all citizens meaning including children. Further, it ensures the safeguarding of human dignity, equality, and the promotion of human rights and freedoms, non-racialism, non-sexism, and the rule of law. The United Nations Convention on the Rights of the Child is an important agreement by countries who have promised to protect children's rights, and Namibia is one of the signatories. The convention explains all rights and the responsibility of government, and I would also include the responsibility of the society at large. All the rights are connected. They are all equally important, and they cannot be taken away from children. Namibia also provides legislations on children's rights, which is the Child Care Protection Act number 3 from 2015. I think my colleagues over here are more aware and know the details about this Protection Act. According to the Child Care and Protection Act number 3 of 2015, it's to account for the best interest of Namibians' children and to ensure active protection, safety, welfare of our future generations. The Ombudsman has been mandated to appoint children's advocate to serve and the welfare and the protection of all children in Namibia. Further outlined in the Child Care and Protection Act are the mandate to provide an establishment of children's fund, to provide for appointment of social worker and life skill teacher, and child protection organizations, to make provisions relating to children's courts, court procedures, and orders, to provide for residential childcare facilities, places, and cares and shelters for children. Further, let us also take note to the National Development Plan NDP 5 and the Harambee Prosperity Plan 2. It also prioritizes inclusivity for all citizens of Namibia and to contribute to the country's socio-economic development and active participation. And to go beyond this, even the UN's SDG goals also look and promote inclusivity and a better life for all. This all means it includes our children. Ladies and gentlemen, the important part of it is to see and to recognize that the children of today are the future generation of tomorrow. Whatever we messed up with our children, neglect or violate their rights, will have a negative impact on their childhood and influence their character, behavior, and I would also say the peace and the stability of the nation. Inclusivity means we have to look after all members of the society, not only those who are able to shout loudly, to lobby best, to have the capacity or the means, but in particular, to look closer those who are silent. Ladies and gentlemen, one of our core missions at the Konrad Adenauer Stiftung Namibia Angola is the promotion of human rights, rule of law, and dialogues. It is for this reason that we came together with our cooperation partners, and it is our vision to support our partners in achieving their objectives and to strengthen the relationship with their key stakeholders beyond by offering the Ombudsman as well as potential existing partners such dialogue and networking platforms such as this. We are excited to support the Office of the Ombudsman today in hosting this lovely event with the aim to ensure that children take ownership in educating themselves, create awareness on children's rights, and encourage active participation of the youth in the society. And finally, supporting the biggest goal, which is the promotion of democracy. And we believe that access by all citizens to information is fundamental for the inclusion, peace, nation building, and prosperity. Ladies and gentlemen, let me come to a conclusion. And with this word, I would like to thank our partners and congratulate the winner of the National Children's Advocate Logo Design Competition. It will be announced later, as I have been informed. And again, I would like to express my gratitude for this great and very progressive initiative to create a children's logo to earmark and raise awareness about children's rights and also to take ownership of this logo. Lastly, I'm looking forward to congratulate the winner. Let's celebrate and enjoy this wonderful moment, and we wish all stakeholders a fruitful deliberation and a lovely event today. And thank you very much. There's a knife here. Thank you.
May we please have another Hand of applause, please. Round of applause, please. Thank you for your informative presentation, Miss Natalie. We will move on to the next presentation by Miss Aurelia David for the My Rights, My Superpowers. And for all speakers to follow, they can accept that the protocol has been observed.
Thank you, Basil. All protocol observed, as was mentioned by Basil. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Aurelia, as was mentioned, from the Office of the Ombudsman, and I'm just going to give a quick background as to why we are here. So we launched last year an information campaign or an awareness campaign called My Rights Are My Superpowers, where we had a series of videos that contain information pertaining to children's rights. So under that campaign is where the children's rights logo now falls. So the idea is basically to create awareness and to have a link, to make a connection for you guys. When you see this logo, you connect it to the children's advocate, just to have a sort of like a brand identity that you guys can connect to and relate to. And that's why we decided to have you guys design the logo yourself, so that you can also explain to us what it means. The winner will have the opportunity to do that. So basically, as Ms. Rasman was speaking, she spoke about a lot of rights. Children have many rights. There are so many human rights. And if we have to list them all, we'll spend the whole day here. So what we then did with the My Rights Are My Superpowers campaign is we have cluster rights. These are 4 rights: the right to participation, survival, development, and protection. So under these cluster rights is where we will then create specific messages for you guys to understand what it means, what are the specific rights that now fall under this cluster rights. So we're just going to quickly play the videos. They are short, 1 minute or so videos, 4 animations, depicting information about these cluster rights that I just mentioned, for your information. Just a background and an introduction for you all to be aware what actually led us here. So yeah, please focus your attention on the screen.
Hi Sonia.
Hi Tiffany. What are you reading?
I'm reading about the Child Care and Protection Act in this pamphlet I got from school.
What's that?
It is Namibia's main law for the children and the issues affecting them. The act classifies here that a child is anyone under the age of 18 years. Check out some of the rights meant to protect you. For more information, contact the Children's Advocate.
For more information, contact the Children's Advocate Namibia in the Office of the Ombudsman on 061 20 73 111. Send us an SMS on 20401. SMS costs 40 cents. You can also send us a message via our Facebook page. Remember, the services of the Children's Advocate are free of charge.
Hi Nangula, you look sad.
Hi Peter, I am sad because my parents argued about whether I should spend the weekend at my mom's or dad's place. When I asked them why my views were not considered, they told me it has nothing to do with me as I am too young.
That's a job for your cape of participation. It can fix that.
My cap of what?
Your rights. They're your superpowers. Your cape of participation is your right to participation. It means you have a right to participate in decisions which affect your life. You have a right to an opinion and to tell people your views in a respectful way.
For more information, contact the Children's Advocate Namibia in the Office of the Ombudsman on 061 20 73 111. Send us an SMS on 20401. SMS costs 40 cents. You can also send us a message via our Facebook page. Remember, the services of the Children's Advocate are free of charge.
Hi Kambaripa.
Hi Melissa.
You look upset. Is everything okay?
A healthcare worker refused to attend to me because I visited the healthcare facility without a guardian.
Healthcare workers are not allowed to do that. This sounds like a job for your shield of survival.
Huh?
Your rights, they're your superpowers. Your shield of survival is your right to life, health, nutrition, shelter, and an adequate standard of living.
For more information, contact the Children's Advocate Namibia in the Office of the Ombudsman on 061 20 73 111. Send us an SMS on 20401. SMS costs 40 cents. You can also send us a message via our Facebook page. Remember, the services of the Children's Advocate are free of charge.
Hi, Dangeni. You look troubled. What's wrong?
Hey Dantago, the principal just told me that I can't be enrolled at the school because I don't have a birth certificate.
What? The principal can't do that. This sounds like a job for your helmet of development.
My what?
Your rights, they're your superpowers. Your helmet is your right to education, care, leisure, and recreation.
For more information, contact the Children's Advocate Namibia in the Office of the Ombudsman on 061 20 73 111. Send us an SMS on 20401. SMS costs 40 cents. You can also send us a message via our Facebook page. Remember, the services of the Children's Advocate are free of charge.
Hi, Stacy. What's with the sadness?
Hi, Sophie. A police officer refused to listen to my concerns, saying that I was too young.
That is not true. You have every right to make a report to a relevant authority. This sounds like a job for your sword of protection.
My what?
Your rights. They're your superpowers. Your sword of protection is your right to live free from ill treatment, sexual and physical violence, even violence as a form of discipline, free from neglect and exploitation, and free from abuse. This means the authorities must ensure that you live in a secure and caring environment.
For more information, contact the Children's Advocate Namibia in the Office of the Ombudsman on 061 20 73 111. Send us an SMS on 20401. SMS costs 40 cents. You can also send us a message via our Facebook page. Remember, the services of the Children's Advocate are free of charge.
All right, so those are your superheroes. As you all know, superheroes have different things that they use for their powers. We have our cape of participation, our shield of survival, helmet of development, and sword of protection. So those four are the main clusters under which we will then create different messages for you guys. But with this, the hope is that you have an overview of the type of rights that fall under these clusters. Yeah, so that's My Rights, My Superpowers in a nutshell. I will now hand over to our very capable MCs. Thank you.
Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Just now we saw a beautiful animated video that tells us that our rights are our superpowers, and I truly believe they are. So we shouldn't let anybody violate our rights because they are our superpowers, and we should use them like they are our superpowers. Thank you, Ms. Aurelia Davids. I would like us to give her another hand of applause. Up next, I would like to call upon Ms. Velamine Koses for the keynote address. Thank you.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Valerie Koses. Okay. It is an honor to be here with you today. Thank you for inviting me. Here's my story. I was born a twin in 27 weeks. Unfortunately, my sister passed on in 10 days after our birth. However, I was a fighter. I was in ICU for 3 months. But it was a difficult battle. When I was discharged from hospital, my family thought it was the end of the battle. My parents noticed that I was not developing as I should. They took me to the hospital. They took them 3 years to discover cerebral palsy.
She had cerebral palsy. She has cerebral palsy.
They did tons of tests and physical therapy, but nothing helped. But I'm happy to be alive today. My aim is to inspire young children, both able and disabled. Today, I share my story. Anything is possible if you put your mind to it. Concentrate on your abilities, not dwell on what you can't. Thank you.
Thank you, Velamine, for your very much heartfelt story. I'd just like to let you know that your disabilities is not an inability. And as that being said, I can tell you today that anything is possible with or without your disability. Continue being a fighter, and we're truly honored to have you here today. Can we please give her a round of applause? On the next item, I would like to call upon Her Worship Sylvia Shapumba, the Junior Mayor of the City of Windhoek, for another key address.
Good afternoon to you all, and thank you for joining us today. I stand by the protocol established. On behalf of the City of Windhoek and the Office of the Ombudsman, I am honored to welcome you all to this auspicious occasion. Let's take a moment to soak in the beauty and the vibrance of this event, as today we are blessed to witness the historical moment in which the symbol of our rights, our logo as the Namibian child, is to be revealed. Firstly, though, ladies and gentlemen, we have to lay the foundation and explore why the Children's Advocate was established in the first place. The Child Care and Protection Act No. 3 of 2015 calls for the appointment of a Children's Advocate, from which we have our current advocate, of whom was appointed on the 1st of October 2022, Advocate Heather Harker. It is important to acknowledge and appreciate the endeavors and the aims of the Children's Advocate, from investigation of incidences to bringing proceedings before the court to stop violation of children's rights. The Children's Advocate is purely gold towards the protection of our rights as children. As she furthermore strives to raise awareness on the Child Act and on the Child Care and Protection Act, the Children's Advocate aims to speak out on our best interest as children. And so the question arises, ladies and gentlemen, how does she achieve all of this? By efficient and effective investigation, mediation, conciliation, negotiation, and moreover, raising awareness about children's rights, the Children's Advocate strives to ensure our rights as children are constantly protected. In addition, what makes it so amazing is that her her services are absolutely free of charge. It is thus of great potency, ladies and gentlemen, that we are acquainted with the contact details of the Children's Advocate. The Children's Advocate is situated in Windhoek at the corner of Veld and Lawson Streets in the Office of the Ombudsman. In terms of laying a complaint, you can visit the Office of the Ombudsman in Windhoek, Keetmanshoop, Oshivarongo, Ongwediva, Katima Mulilo, and Swakopmund. Let us remember, ladies and gentlemen, our rights are our superpowers. Let us utilize this power and know that it comes with great honor, but also with great responsibility. Let us see this logo and think, wow, they're talking about us. Let us envision a future in which each and every single Namibian child knows their rights, but with the same breath, the responsibilities that comes with those rights. Together, we can create the vision of this future. But we have to remember that it starts with us. Right here, right now. I thank you.
Our rights are our superpowers indeed. Thank you so much for your powerful presentation, our junior mayor. We will move on to the next presentation by the real DC, but may we please have a hand of applause for our wonderful mayor. Okay, now it's time for the real DC. Thank you for your very captivating performance. May we please have another round of applause. Okay, we will now move on to the next presentation by the wonderful and kind-hearted Ms. Heather Hacker for the unveiling logo and announcement of the winner. Come on.
Good afternoon, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, esteemed guests. Thank you for joining us today as the Office of the Ombudsman commemorates the Day of the Namibian Child. I would just like to acknowledge the presence of the Ministry of Justice, Education, Gender Equality, Poverty Eradication, and our Media Ombudsman. Thank you for joining us. Now, as you all have heard quite a couple of times, the Ombudsman of Namibia is the national human rights defender. And what the Child Care and Protection Act did was it created specific powers or established specific powers for the Ombudsman pertaining to the protection of children's rights and awareness creation. Now, you can't talk to children the way you talk to adults. It just doesn't work. So that is why we've decided then we need a logo where children can identify very easily, oh, they are talking to me, they are talking about me, I need to pay attention now. So that is generally why we have this logo. And we decided to do it in the form of a competition so that it can pique interest again, because now children are asking, what is this office? What do we do? Who is the Ombudsman? And that is why we wanted to create it in this format. And it also gives children the opportunity to take ownership of this logo. We received more than 100 entries, and we thank each and every child for the time spent, because it was so interesting to see how they interpreted the act, what it means to them, and we are very grateful for all the entries. And after a very long process, we finally decided on one winner. We are very excited. We love it. It represents who the office is. I just want to inquire whether the Ministry of Justice is here. Not yet. So I would like to ask the Honorable Ombudsman to join me on stage for the handing over of the prize. Thank you, Ombudsman. Do you want to know who is the winner of the logo competition? Yes, let's do it. So the winner hails all the way from Etosha Secondary School. I would like to welcome Hilya Kwedi, her parent, and the teacher representative to the stage. Can we display the logo on the screen now? Thank you. There you go. This is for the winner ombudsman.
Okay.
And this box.
And this box also? Yes. Oh, okay. The winner is this one now. This is your president. There's something here also.
For the school as well.
Oh, okay. The school also. Here we go.
Please give them another round of applause, guys. Thank you so much, Ombudsman. So we will now hand over to our MCs to introduce the next item, but we will ask the winner to please remain on stage. Thank you so much, everyone.
First of all, I'd like to congratulate not only Hilya, but also to all the other participants. Not everybody will receive a prize, but in the end, the fact that they all participated, they are all winners. So I'd like to ask us to give a hand of applause to Hilya in her presence and the absence of all the participants. Up next, I would like to call Helia to the podium for her winner brief. Thank you.
Okay. Good afternoon to the members of the audience and event organizers. My name is Hilia Kwedi, as you've heard, and I'm from Etosha Secondary School in Sumeb. I'm honored to be chosen as the winner for the Child's Advocate logo competition. Today, I want to share with you how I designed my logo and what inspired it. Hopefully, at the end of this, you will see this logo more in the same light as me. Firstly, I came up with this logo concept after careful consideration and research on what the organization is all about. I researched references so I could have a vague idea on what my logo should look like, and at the same time, make it unique and accurate representation of the Ombudsman organization. After gaining some information, I decided on going for a more simplistic approach, so it is easily recognizable and appealing to all audience, young and older. My main inspiration was children's drawings and how simple they are, but you always know what they were going for. The other thing is that I wanted my logo to be versatile in terms of if you ever wanted to put it on to put the design on a different print like a t-shirt or hats, then it's very simple and you can easily do that. I wanted when someone gives so much as a glance at this design, the first thing that is apparent was the organization and the children, since I noticed that the organization was referred to, okay. I decided to put a figure, let's say, protecting the children. And for the children, I drew a simplified boy and girl in simple geometric shape so that all children that see it will feel represented, especially the boy child, since I feel that most foundations don't visibly show that they're advocates for girls and boys. They always seem more feminine. Now that my line work was finally complete, all that was left to do was to choose a color scheme that tied it all together. I went for colors more on the warm side, with reds and yellows to give a sense of warmth the organization has and to represent the vibrant Namibian children. To add on to the vibrance, I was trying to convey feelings of compassion when you looked at the logo. Lastly, I want to thank you all for choosing my design, and I hope that it can be an accurate representation of this noble organization. And thank you.
Thank you, Helia, for your briefing. Once again, I would like to congratulate you. Up next, I would like to call upon the Ombudsman for the closing remarks.
Afternoon, everyone. This is a children's event. We are all happy with the unveiling of the logo. I think it says it all. Of course, I did not also understood it until she explained it. But you can see that there is a lot of message in that logo. Yeah, I recognized the country representative of Conrad Adenauer, Madam Rasman, the media ombudsman, Dr. Nakuta, of course, the owner of the events, the children of Namibia, all protocol observed. Of course, my junior mayor, don't fire me. I live in your city. Speaking at the end of the event is really easy because your speech has been crafted by the previous speakers. Today, we have launched the logo of the Children's Advocate, and she is actually the chief protector of children's rights. The question is, as many of you have spoken, the question is, what does children's rights mean? And we all of us want to answer that question. What are rights? What are really rights? Essentially, I want to simplify it to you, just as you said here, because many of you have spoken in different ways, but you spoke about rights, particularly of the children. There are essentially two major theories that are used to explain what rights are all about. Because, as you all know, there are so many rights. For example, there are moral rights, there are natural rights, democratic rights, legal rights, and equality, and so on and so forth. But like I said, there are only two theories that explain the rights. The first theory is the will theory. The will theory holds the view that laws should be allowing for the widest possible self-expression for individuals in their freedoms, actions, and beliefs, meaning the choices of their behaviors and actions should not be violated or be curtailed. In other words, this theory of rights supports individual expression. That's the first theory. The second one is the interest theory. The interest theory, on the other hand, holds the view that rights are based on interest or what is best for the person or an individual. The question is, how do we understand children's rights? That's the question I asked earlier on. Because a lot of the rights of children have to do with things that other people, and not the children, can choose to do. And more often, the rights of children are expressed in terms of the rights of their parents. But this is one thing to have a right and another to have a right and someone else to act on it on your behalf. The point is, the right of children does not translate automatically to the rights of the parents. I want you to stress that line. And this is why the Namibian law, in this case, the Child Care and Protection Act, which was mentioned here, emphasize the interest of the child rather than the right of the child. Therefore, interest theory is more superior to the will theory. I thank you.
It was an honor hearing from the very respected and honored Ombudsman, Mr. Basilius. Mr. Basilius. May we please have another round of applause, please? Now I would like to call up Miss Ingrid Hasselman for the vote of thanks.
Thank you so much. Good afternoon, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Ingrid. I am working for the Ombudsman, and I'm just so happy to be here today in order to just thank everybody who made this event possible. And but first and foremost, I want to acknowledge the children in the room to say thank you for your presence, and also all of the children in their absence, and the ones who are here, and also the ones who aren't here, who participated in our competition. Without you, all of this would obviously not have been possible. And then I would also like to thank our wonderful guests and speakers. Your words and presence have made this event truly inspiring and memorable, as I'm sure. And also the winner, Yulia, thank you for sharing your creative genius with us. We appreciate your time and effort and the gift of your amazing logo very, very much. And then I also want to just thank Heather, the children's advocate, Aurelia, our public relations officer, and all of the other colleagues who worked really, really hard to make this event possible today. Your hard work is certainly appreciated and seen. And then also a big shout out to our partners, the Ministry of Education, who disseminated information. And we also want to say thank you to every teacher who inspired or assisted a child in this process. And also the Ministry of Justice for their support and for sponsoring the prizes. And then also the Ministry of Gender, the National Association of Children with Disabilities, the Junior City Council, and also CAS, who generously supported us. Your contribution to this event has made it possible. And then I can't forget to thank the media, our partners in creating awareness surrounding children's rights. Our campaign is always dependent upon the generosity and the presence of every media professional. And then, did I leave anyone out? I hope not. And then our audience, thank you so much. Your lively participation certainly helped to make this event more special. And last but not least, I want to thank the Ombudsman for your support as always. Without you, this would also not have been so smooth sailing. And it's been a fantastic day, and I thank you all.
Thank you, Ms. Ingrid, for the vote of thanks. Now we're gonna go to the AU anthem and the national anthem. May we please rise?
Let us all unite and celebrate together the victories won for our liberation. Let us dedicate ourselves to rise together to defend our liberty and unity. Oh, sons and daughters of Africa, flesh of the sun and flesh of the star, let us make Africa the tree of life. Namibia, land of the brave freedom fight, we have won. Glory to their bravery. beautiful Namibia, Namibia, our country, beloved land of savannas, hold high the banner of liberty, Namibia, our country, Namibia, motherland, we love thee.
You may take your seats. Now I would like to call upon Councillor Bemvinda.
Thank you, everybody, for the respect we have towards our motherland. We rose to sing the national and AU anthem. Up next, I would like to call upon Ms. Aurelia David for the stakeholder networking, media engagement, and snacks.
Ladies and gentlemen, I am not literally delivering the snacks. They are outside. We've officially come to the end of our program, and I want to give a special thank you to our amazing MCs. Can we give them a round of applause? They did really well. The children that joined us as well, thank you. Everyone that took out of your time, out of your schedule to be here this afternoon, thank you very much. This is officially the end of our program. We are welcome to go outside. There are refreshments, but first we'll take some time for a photo op. If it's Helia, right? Helia can just come with the teacher, so we just have some photo ops, and then the members of the media that are here, you are welcome to also then ask questions, of course, with Helia's mother's permission, because she's a minor. You heard about the media ethics in the beginning. You're then welcome to speak to her as well, or film her, take pictures of her as well, with her mother's permission, of course. And that's about it. We've come to the end of our program. Thank you so much. There are refreshments outside. It's now time for photo ops and conversations. Let's get to know each other. And just another round of applause for the proceedings today. Thank you very much.